It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Dear, oh dear.
Can't believe you guys actually waited.
As opposed to
Oh,
what,
yeah,
just fucking keep
I
going with
want
the
you
game
to be
without me.
here for this session to see what how your character reacts.
Especially because, like, I wasn't there for whatever's happened, so,
What
like...
did they do?
Nothing.
You
Nothing
did
so
it!
far.
You did it, motherfucker! It was
But
you last time.
If we flash back to last session, the end of last session,
Mm-hmm.
the large police mech picking up its not dislocated, fucking dismembered,
Dismembered arm,
Severed?
yeah.
severed arm, throwing it over its shoulder and walking away out of the old city, the outer city, into the desert, towards the desert town where he had ambushed so successfully the communists.
Mm-hmm.
And we cut in the camera of this large black corporate helicopter just following these two mechs slowly walking out of the city away from this battle zone. 3 destroyed tanks ripped apart, destroyed by gunfire and just pure savagery of the mechs, and just a slew of mutilated corpses, smashed and broken corporate police that just were fucking massacred by this crazed man on a mech, wielding a tank cannon and just battering them all to death. And when we cut over to the desert city, Dougal, you and your small fleet of police vehicles and civilian vehicles as well, actually, have just pulled up outside of this destroyed and ruined town. The air is quiet and crisp, but you can still hear the small pops of gunfire and sirens in the distance from the city itself. Where is it? Nigel, you are also in one of these civilian vehicles, having tagged along.
Yeah.
And, as you look up, Paggy, and you see the stars twinkling in the night, and you see a red flash of what you know to be a helicopter slowly making its way towards you. And then your phone buzzes. Well, not your phone, your PDA, or your data slate, if I believe.
Tink. Answer.
Hitch Borax on the screen. You hear a... What has happened?
Hello.
Dougal, what's happened? What's happening down there? What's going on? I'm hearing very strange things from the surface. I'm not sure this is what's meant to go down, Dougal.
It appears your comrades within the facility are planning a hostile takeover.
Well, of that, Dougal. I mean the massacre.
Massacre?
I have reports of Lancers going crazy in the city and massacring the corporate police, just slaughtering them to a man. It's quite horrific.
I can neither
Yeah.
confirm nor deny that, as I am currently not in the city.
Okay, well, that's good to know that you're not involved. That's something at least. Who is piloting these Lancers? I need you to investigate. This is not good. Whatever hopes we had of, well, I'd have to say that watching people get massacred by a fucking giant lamppost isn't the best for PR.
Can I ask, Horatio,
No, sure.
did you know that this was going to happen before you sent us down here to quell our union?
That's what was going to happen. The hostile takeover?
Yes.
No idea. I don't pay attention usually to such small affairs, but it seems it's sort of blowing up a little.
There's been a lot of blowing up.
I can tell. Half the city's on lockdown.
Well, from what I understand, from the caravan that I've came across, is that all police stations within the vicinity of the exterior city are now destroyed, blown up by said enforcers attacking further expansion. And then there was also a giant flash off in the distance to the north, which I heard tell of a socialist camp.
Yes, I heard little bits about that actually. It seemed to be some sort of these two middle managers somewhere in the city tried to stage some sort of operation so they could take over, hostile takeover. You know what I mean? Improve their own worth, see how much they can expand the corporation, that sort of thing. It seems we're going quite well. I'm, and then the people have been massacred. I mean, I'm sure that's just going to help them, to be honest. But it's most disconcerting that there are lances on the surface that we're not aware of. Well,
Yes.
corporate
Well,
HQ is most disconcerted.
no one for military tacticians, but I think these managers seem to have lived beyond their means. They seem to have, instead of quietly with a needle striking out at people and assets, they seem to stir up two hornets' nests.
I'd,
As far as I can tell, that there's a militarized group of socialists and a militarized group of people that don't take kindly to the corporates,
I'd, I'd,
and they've managed to. Should these units unify against them, they might not be able to defend themselves. I mean, if you saw
uh,
what happened with one Lancer, that's
that's
happened.
exactly the problem. They're escalating. They're trying to call in support. They're trying to get us, the corporation at large, to bring our Lancer pilots and to put this rebellion down now. And I'm, but to be honest, it's not looking good. The pictures they're sending out are disconcerting to a few of us up here, at least. Some who have vested interest, especially, and are pushing now for more reinforcements. But really, I don't see much point in it. But you know,
Has a stuffer hand been requisitioned to come and take charge?
no, not yet, not yet. But the corporate's talking about sending them a group of lancers trained to take care of the situation and put down the insurrectionists. It appears that what's his name, the deputy chief there, Jordan, some guy is stepping up and taking control over the whole situation. So they're leaving it in his hands. It sort of seems like he's putting his boot down to make sure they don't overtake him. To be honest, but it seems like he's fully behind the occupation. I'm not
I'm
sure if he
sorry,
was pulling
who?
their strings from the start. One Jordan, what was his second name? God, it's in this file somewhere. The assistant chief executive Jordan. God, I don't know.
So he's the executive of the facility.
Deputy. Well, assistant chief executive. Chief executive himself is currently off world, conducting official trade agreements, but he's pretty much in charge. Within reason. Seems like he was sort of leaving it to let them trip over themselves, but now that they're requesting reinforcements from outside and they've provided these images, things seem to be heating up, and he seems to have stepped in.
And what does the company intend to do?
For now, it seems the sway is into pushing a couple of lancers, take them out. Nobody really wants to drop a tongue to the rod from Wilbert on this one. A couple of lancers should be able to do it. It seems like an old police mech from what the scrolls say, and some fucking beat up piece of shit. But I'm not sure it's worth the expense, to be honest, and I'd rather if you guys could take care of it quietly.
There is one quick way to deal with this.
And that would be Dougal.
Like I said, a stiff hand.
What do you mean exactly? And he takes a big head of his fucking corporate juice.
Well, I'd imagine that if the corporation expanded its hospitality in a more diplomatic scenario, then it would have had more success than slaughtering people in the streets and disestablishing the law and order system, whatever law and order system there was out here in this sector.
Perhaps it might have been, but I mean, apart from the Lancer pilots, it seems like it's been pretty well crushed, and most of the corporate aren't too bothered about it. They're scum anyway.
No too. Can find out the lay of the land here and see what's happening and what forces are where. That way I can give you a sit rep as to what is required.
That would be for the best. And if you could find out the identity of these Lancer pilots, perhaps we can take them out quietly. If I can bring in a more succinct method of dealing with them than overwhelming firepower, it may be quite good for our position, shall we say.
Apologies.
No worries, no worries. Did you hear what I said?
Vaguely.
No worries. So he basically says, well, find out who these Lancer pilots are. If you can um get their names, take them up more quietly. If I can propose a more suitable solution, a bit more subterfuge than just overwhelming firepower, it may advance our cause here and reap us some benefits if we can put these down quietly. Um, show that we are actually in charge of this place, not them. It may ease some of the pressure on corporate and increase your payday, shall I say?
That proves to be slightly difficult without causing collateral.
Oh, what do you mean by that? Shouldn't be that difficult, surely, for people of your talents to find these people and, you know,
Oh,
take them out quietly.
It's easy enough to find the rebels because sadly your overzealous compatriots that caused the expansion have deemed us as enemies of the state.
What?
One George Foreman and a Genevieve who orchestrated mass socialist risings to feed fire to the fuel of the media, and then at the same time requisitioned us to deal with these people, the exact same orders that you're giving us right now, but in turn branded us enemies of the state and deemed us socialists, even though, as you can see, I am still
Hmm.
humbly your employee.
Hmm. Strange
There
turn of
was
events.
one Lancer, if you could call it a Lancer. It was more like a cargo load bearer. It was like
Hmm.
it's almost like a skiff truck. The
Hmm.
socialists had one. We saw to that. That went down. So that
Hmm.
was one less Lancer to deal with. But now you're saying one about the rogue police. If they have expanded themselves and take out the police themselves, I'd imagine it would have been a police Lancer pilot that had retorted to the action taken.
Perhaps we weren't aware of any on planet, but it is possible. It, strange as the events may be on planet, if you're now branded rebels, it may be easier actually to find out their identity. It could be a stroke of luck for us. And if we can
Hmm.
all go quietly, I can very easily clear your names, just overwrite any sort of shit mudball authority they have.
I'd be most obliged. Try
Would you,
and
would you prefer to me?
Oh dear, sorry.
Let me know if it's better for me to do it now and clear your names now. I can do that. But it sounds like it may be fortuitous if you have an in with the rebels. It may be easier for you to gain information that way.
yes, that was the plan that I was seeking after. Was trying to put all the eggs in one basket. But as I said, there might be collateral damage should
Should things go south? Hmm. Well,
only select targets should be taken. Said troublemakers, not major damaging to the Juanita force. We do have a facility to maintain on site.
indeed, as long
That
as
being
it's.
said,
Hmm. Go on.
you had a query of Lancer pilots for the police not on site. We did come across said detectives and individuals that had dropped in on the system. I don't know if they're still here, potentially some that are classed, but we did aid in an investigation, or more stumbled on an investigation whilst recuperating and having R&R.
You're not talking about police squad, are you? Those bunch of useless old fucking hacks.
Mm.
I
Oh,
don't think they could
my,
panzer a lancer if they all got between themselves and tried to make it jump.
Panzer Islet.
it's not the more finesse side of it, but more the unethical side of it. You know how they operate.
Hmm. True. True. Well, sounds like
Not
you.
one for Sophocles.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, some collateral damage can be expected if things go wrong, of course, as long as it isn't too much to the corporate city itself. It certainly would be a lot less costly than bringing in a flight of lancers to deal with it. So it's acceptable. Some some damage, but if there's another massacre, I'm afraid it would be out of my hands. The corporation doesn't like those sort of images being spread about itself in such a weak state, shall we say. Even if there's nothing those poor guys could do but just get fucking slaughtered.
I highly doubt there's going to be another massacre within the city limits, sir.
I would hope so. I would hope so. I hope you could put a stop to it in case one happened, or was about to. But most disconcerting.
That being said, I am currently with a convoy of
Mm.
police as we evacuated from the city when the police,
Mm.
when the expansion took place.
Yes, yes.
That being
Excellent.
said, I do fear that again, said troublemakers within Juanita have ruffled many hornets' nests because there may be a militant force.
Mm. Well,
But I'd imagine that would be quashed and rabbled out as rebels and terrorists. And
it should be. Once the Lancers are taken care of, I have no concerns that the corporate tanks and army could easily squash out any remaining resistance within the city itself. Good work, Dougal, that you managed to keep cover for this long.
oh, the job was done. We're laying low for pickup. Didn't expect this to happen, but
Indeed, but perhaps it is fortuitous that you are for both of us. It could be an opportunity to progress our own position here, at least in the eyes of upper management. We could take care of this subtly, without too much expenditure, shall we say.
mm. Should there be any mobilization of any forces in retaliation, I will let you know as soon as I do.
I will try to stall for time as much as I can for some of the more radical elements here are pushing for lances and so on. I'll try to stall for time, try to push them out, let them know that there's a subtle approach going on, and that should buy you some time. I wouldn't expect any major pushes from the corporation that way, at least for now. Don't want you accidentally getting shot by a lancer, do we?
No, to be
Great.
honest, I've yet to find one of reputable ilk for my skill.
Fair enough.
I like that you just like you're probably just like and you look, you turn to look, and I'm just fucking.
Well, such people could be said to be few and far between, Dougal. We'll do what we can.
Very well.
Anyway, good work.
Subtlety is my specialty.
See if you can take care of this for us. We may gain more ground than we think if we can push it the right way.
One final question, sir.
Go ahead.
What's the ETA on pickup?
Anytime
On
required.
extraction?
I expect the ship to be in orbit, not the same ship, a slightly different ship. To be in orbit within the next 12 to 48 hours. Extraction anytime from there, pretty much. If you can shut this up quickly and quietly, and by all means do it. If it takes longer, however, I can delay the ship for the exact same reason, pretty much. If there's a force on the ground that's taking care of this subtly, they'll leave it in orbit as long as it needs. It's a lot cheaper than calling in a flight of Lancers.
I'll report back in 6 hours, sir, for your right.
Very well. Very well. Good luck, Dougal. Thanks for the update. God, I'm
Thank
going to
you.
fucking write this up in a report and he cut off.
Amazing.
Fucking gunk, motherfucker.
so roughly this time, Dougal and Nigel, you would see in the distance a pair of bright headlights marching over the dunes towards this ruined city that you're currently taking hostile, currently residing in, at least. The police and civilians that came with you have sort of rallied the vehicles, rallied the cars around, formed like what makeshift camps they can, like blocked off the roads. Not that it's going to do much good, and the fucking holes in the buildings. But they've done what they can to settle in, shall we say.
Establish a field hospital.
Yeah, like there's a guy with a stretcher trying to like take the bullet wounds out of some guys and stuff like that. You see the two mechs approaching over the desert. One of them severely battle damaged, missing an arm, scored with shell marks, burned where the hit metal is obviously heated and then cooled rapidly from concussive shots. Paint scored. The other one seems not too bad. Worse where the shorter one, a bit more rounder, sort of bounding towards you.
Why am I not surprised?
It appears that you're also out of the range of the signal jammer out here.
Comms are still jammed. Shit.
No, you're out of the range of the signal jam.
Oh, we're out of the range.
Yes, as Horatio was able to contact you, you imagine that you
Oh,
can
yeah.
probably contact whoever you need to, as long as they're not within the city.
I'd like to walk up to the lieutenant or whoever it
I think
was
it was a corporal that was left.
Corporal. It's like, Corporal, get on the radios and try and reconvene all police forces remaining to fall back to this position.
Well, I'm doing what I can, but there are a lot of them getting shot at, and a few of them aren't really used to that sort of thing. So it's a bit tough, but I'm telling them to rendezvous here as soon as possible.
Police aren't used to being shot at.
Do not worry, Corporal. They will get used to it.
He looks up as this fucking booms out over the speakers of this police mech. He's sort of like,
That.
Surge?
I'll get to it anyway, sir. Sir, I don't know.
Surge.
Dougal, you doing good?
Yeah, I'd store that quickly. Hide it.
Just
And disembark.
Red light in the sky is just blinking, and not above you, but watching as the helicopter keeps its distance. Seems to have followed the two mechs out here.
Okay, and I climb into a building.
Yeah, there's a lot of the buildings here are destroyed. There's one of them that's like you see like a tire block with the center that's fallen out and collapsed in. You can pretty much just walk the mech into like that center bit and then step out onto one of the floors.
Oh, that feels better. Okay.
Yeah.
How are we doing? What is happening?
You notice that Surge is bleeding from a head wound.
What's the combat effectiveness of your asset?
It's
Currently got one of his hearts.
It's okay. I mean, do give me a couple of hours, I'll be able to fix it a bit more. But it can still shoot. That's good.
We might not have a couple hours, and you might not have the mech back.
What do you
Horatio's just got off the phone. Horatio's just got off the phone with me. He says it's all over the news that the police mech is slaughtering innocents within the city. That there, my friend, is a tarnished chariot, and I would wipe your locking key from it immediately and hand the keys over to the police.
Okay. No. Hold on. We can fix this. You give me 15 minutes with a blowtorch, I can get all the paint off of this bad boy.
It's still the same model as a standard issue police.
Okay, you give me 35 minutes and a thick welder, and I can change half the bodywork on it.
Well enough so that they can't run a RID scan.
Oh, there's no ID scan. See these old models? See these old BG models? They're all analog, man. Easy.
You all know as Lancer pilots or somebody who was highly trained that all mechs have a serial code instamped on the chassis. The core of itself, the core skeletal structure of the mech itself.
Also, being a Lancer pilot, as in a Titan pilot, you become attached to your said thing, and you can call out models of car makes by the looks of them.
That too.
Yeah.
That too.
All I'm saying is, well, I'd be able to disguise this, no problem. Easy peasy.
Gents, can we take 5 and have a chat? Nigel, you were coming?
Sure.
Oh, you do speak. I thought you just stared. Cool.
Nigel, look at the thing I have.
I'm
Take it
assuming
over. Look back.
It's fucking
You're-
good, right?
I imagine you're a ways away from where the police convoy, police and civilian convoy is making its sort of camp. You're off like towards the high-rise building that.
he's already
Sergei
picked his
Park
couple
just
of
mentioned.
targets and decent hiding spots for the bodies.
Oh yes, he has already stabbed somebody in the convoy. You just don't know who it is yet.
Just, God.
Guy bullet wound in the chest going, help me, and you're like, shh.
Right, I haven't played since that time I killed that guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. But as you sort of look towards the police convoy, to make sure you're far enough away, you see a couple of them like gathering around a large tablet that's showing the news. It's this police lancer. You see it just swinging this heavy gun cannon around, just baseball batting civilians, firing into buildings, just creating sheer chaos. You hear it's like a wife and child, a single mother and their 3 children were killed as this Lancer fired indiscriminately into a building. And there's obviously a very cut shot of Sergei missing his target and accidentally firing into one of the high rises with his fucking massive revolver.
Does it have the shot where I say stop resisting and then stomp a police officer into the ground?
There's no volume on that shot, but the shot is there. They've cut the volume off it, so
Wonderful.
you can't
Oh,
hear.
no,
it.
no,
don't
no.
think-
I was
to be
gonna say,
fair-
there is volume. It's just cut with him and the screams of anguish from the police officer dying.
To be fair, I don't think the recording, I don't think the sound in that makes it better. I believe I actually said you are
The
under
Wilhelm
arrest.
scream.
I think I actually said you are under arrest, and then I stomped them
Yeah.
into the dirt.
Yeah, so like when that scene comes up, like the presenter talks over it, so you can't hear it, but you can see him like being fucking crushed to death. And then like another one of him swinging the fucking cannon and baseballing a guy into a building and him just fucking exploding into gore.
Ah.
Like
Amazing.
horrific scenes. And like you can feel the patient like, oh yeah, fuck it, what? Look at it, that's what the fucking corpus deserve. And a few of the civilians are like, holy fuck, this is fucked.
Yeah.
This, as you can tell, this is currently being spread as far as the corporates can spread it.
Good.
So, gents, we find ourselves yet in an even more precarious situation due to our actions.
We're doing it with Horatio once, yeah? No, not Horatio. Jordan. We fix it that Jordan fixes it for us.
No, Horatio can fix it for us. Jordan's just an exec for the facility. A deputy exec at that. The chief
thought that-
exec's off-world.
I thought that he wanted us to do stuff, so that's why we killed all those people.
Jordan wanted us to kill people? No, it was George, the foreman, wanted us to quell a rebel rousing in the north.
But I
If
thought
you remember, there was a phone call you had with Jordan last session where he did say, if you can
Get-
turn the tides
Get
in
rid of
this
Genevieve, yeah.
and take care of them quietly, one sharp push to take care of it all, that
Yep.
would be best.
Yep.
Not massacre a police force and then leave.
tomato. All right, tomato.
Nigel, you're sort of taking all this in. Oh, you've seen it all happen, but you're sort of like, almost like you're hearing it for the first time.
It does feel like I'm hearing it for the first time. You're right. It's strange.
Different
So, gents-
jokes for different folks.
The way of the situation is this. Horatio wants us to take care of the Lancer pilots within the rebel armies and the militant police.
That
So for that, no, keep my
that's
mouth
us,
shut.
no? Okay.
For that, we will find straw men who will be cut, hung, and dried and presented out. But what I intend to do is, at the same time as pleasing Horatio, I have already bartered with the police that they will have the stash house and armaments if they mobilise together. My intention is that we go and try and find whatever remains of the socialists and join the giant force together of the last remaining rebels to make a big monstrous push from the desert towards the village, thus drawing out Juanita's military forces. With that being there, hopefully the case and opportunity presents itself to take out Genevieve and George in the one fell swoop. So our objective now is to minimize damage to the city. Jordan wants us to get rid of his two compatriots that are seeming to overstay or overstep their stations. And all we have to do is present that the Lancers are destroyed along with the Lancer pilots, to which you will not be having that mech. The ship arrives in 12 hours and will be in upper atmo for extraction. I'm going to give a sit rep in 6 hours to Horatio, telling him that the armies have amassed and regrouped in the one location, so that way he will feed that back and they will deploy the remnants of the armies out from the city. If we don't, and we sit idly by, they're going to drop 20 Lancer pilots of Juanita Armed Special Forces to come and crush everybody under the heel. Thus, at the same time, we are also branded rebels, so that would include us. Horatio can waiver that, but he sees it fit that we stay rebels, so that way we can take out the rebel Lancer pilots. Do you understand the situation?
I'd understand. Question. The socialists hate us.
The socialists love us, don't they, Gaten? I'd imagine standing next to Gav.
Galen sort of nods.
Galen.
He sort of like nods and shakes his head, like they kind of.
And if we walk in
Kinda
and show
fucking.
them that Genevieve is actually a Juanita Marshall, they will be fuming and out for Juanita blood. And also, if they look up any of the scroll sheets, they'll see that we're branded as socialist traitors, who formerly were in the employment of Juanita, thus being sympathizers.
Question. How do we prove that Genevieve is a fuck?
No, I'm pretty sure there'll be quite a lot of data on her in the corporate slides as to her position and employment.
So we need to
That
get
and the fact
corporate
that she's
slides.
also that and the fact that she's also flying about in Juanita aircraft at every engagement.
So we need to shoot down the aircraft.
Well, that would be the prime target. We
I can do
usually
that.
travel together,
Yeah.
so it might be a bit fortuitous if we manage to catch them both off guard at the one time.
I can shoot down that
But-
fucking aircraft, no problem.
Can
Easy.
you do it without your mech?
Oh, I'm going to need to. Okay, third question. I don't want to give my mech up. It's mine.
Then you're signing your own death warrant. And if you run about in the mech, gallivanting and destroying everything, they will drop 20 Lancer Special Force mechs to come and take care of you. To which you will not survive.
I survived.
And you
last
will
time.
not go back on ice. You will die here in the desert.
I fucking hate dying in deserts.
Put it this way, Serge. I am offering you an ultimatum. Because right now I can see Nigel staring at the navel at the back of your neck. And it's a one-way ticket.
Okay. I have a proposition. No?
You better speak fast before he reaches you.
Okay. So we need to shoot the helicopter down, yeah? But we can't do
That's
it
if
in...
they come in a helicopter, they might not come out with the rest of the forces.
But we-
Thus, plans may change and we might have to
Okay,
infiltrate the city.
But we can't do it in the mech. So we got to use a gun that is big. I have a big gun in the mech, but we can't use the mech. So let's just take the big gun with us and use it as a standard enforced position emplacement.
I conk you on the back and say, "What the fuck is this?" And then I pick up your wrist arm and go, "What the fuck is this?"
You think that could shoot down a fucking helicopter?
I shot down the helicopter above the police station with my sniper laser.
If you think that was just a standard issue corporate helicopter, do you think that she's flying around in a standard issue? That shit will be bulletproof.
You think they're going to be in something special?
Da.
Then they
Oh,
adapt and improvise. Plus, your weapons are ordnance. Mine's precision. Yours is ordnance.
what about a hack? The amount of tech that they have on
Yes.
those, you could mess up their guidance system.
Yes, now you're thinking.
Hmm.
Now you're being more efficient.
This is a good idea. This is a very good idea.
Initial plan is to try and get the socialists come and reconvene with the police, so that way it looks like an amassed militant squad
Mm-hmm.
is ready to mobilize and take back the city. If that doesn't draw out Foreman and Genevieve, then
Okay. Well then let's go.
we can infiltrate the city and remove them. That way, complete objective for Jordan. Also, you're not going to be using the mechs. I suggest that we actually sabotage the mechs.
Are you sure you don't want
So
to teach a
that
cop
way-
how to do it?
No, I want a cop to pilot the mech.
Hmm.
But I want the mech rigged to fail. So that way, when the cameras are showing the battle outside the city, all mechs are destroyed, thus completing our
Oh.
objective for Horatio
I can totally
and
do
giving
that.
us extraction to get off this fucking desert planet.
I can totally do that. You want me to fix something like that? No problem. I'll
Yes,
do
please.
it. I'll do it while pretending to fix the mix up and also fixing the mix up as well. You want 2 arms on that bad boy so that it looks real. Won't take me long.
It only needs an arm for a gun. Unless the other arm's going to fall right back off in battle.
It's always good to have 2. Let me see what I can do. I'll put some bombs in it.
Serge, can I just say something though?
Mm-hmm.
You have a considerable debt to this corporation.
Duh.
They own you. You will be doing more wet work if you survive this. So don't get attached to mechs. You will find another one. You might even be given one.
Oh,
We might be dropping into a coolant planet
they toss
where
us.
we are gonna die within 6 minutes whilst the coolant is eating through the outside armor of the mech, and we have to go retrieve some dickhead's pleasure travel fucking ship. This is the type of stuff that you get with the corporals. You will find another mech.
Nothing can
You're
kill.
expendable.
Nothing.
Learn to survive.
Nothing can kill me. I'm too strong. I'll go fix the mech. Bye.
Nigel, if he I got whispering to Nigel, is it Nigel, if he fucks up, just you know what to do.
I just wink.
And I'm going.
Um,
Oh, sorry.
can I see the
Mm-hmm.
helicopter where we are?
Yes, you can probably see like its outline against the stars and the red flashing light beneath it.
Can I like? I'm able to like. Am I able to make it out like what kind of helicopter it is? Does it look like a news chopper? Does it look like some sort of gunship type helicopter?
It looks, it looks like a.
Like, do you want me to do a spot check or something?
Give me a spot, yeah, and you'll get more detailed information the better you do.
Okay, let me actually just log into the roll 20.
'Cause it is very dark. It is about midnight right now. It is.
Yeah,
It's
spot, so
the
plus.
future. It's Cyberpunk 2077 Titanfall. They've got IR.
Oh yeah, they totally do. He
Uh,
doesn't, but
this gets my grit gets added as well, doesn't it? Grit's the thing is called.
it does. Yes, add your grip, please as well.
So we're on. It's a plus. Grit is what right now?
Plus
Yep.
2.
Any mod
Plus
for your
one.
skills plus grit.
I think it's plus
Okay,
1, so you hit
that's
next
good.
level.
It's a +1 right now.
Yeah, yeah. So it's plus
Yeah.
3
So I've
total.
got +3 total.
Hmm?
15.
Ooh, yes. What do you want to know about this helicopter?
I want to know if my weapon can take it out.
What weapon do you have again? Sorry, is it a large like laser cannon?
It's like a heavy ordnance laser cannon. Basically, heavy
Like
signature.
it's a Spartan laser,
So
isn't it? If I remember.
it's literally a Spartan laser.
Yes. You think if you get close enough, it seems like it's a corporate helicopter, black. It's like almost like a Black Hawk, but more angular. Um, you don't think it's carrying soldiers. It seems just to be watching. Um, you definitely think if you get close enough, you could take this thing out.
Yeah, pretty sure like a good shot like on the tail rotors or something could fucking fuck it up.
Yeah, yeah. Uh huh.
Do
You
I
know, like
see? I was going to say, do I see Nigel just staring at the helicopter?
I'm definitely like staring at it.
Depends how Nigel looks when he's thinking about killing something.
I'm staring at this helicopter. I'm like looking up at it. Cock my head a little bit. Pull out my gun.
Well, yeah. What did I say about collateral damage? Horatio knows we're here with these police.
Does it count if they're corporal rats?
Oh, if Genevieve and George are in it, then it's fine. But until we can confirm, I wouldn't. We're already on thin ice as it is. And I intend to be on that ship in 12 hours when the sun's up.
You also know, both of you, by the way, as you're sort of like looking at this helicopter, it is a considerable distance, just like hovering, watching you. You would have to draw it closer somehow for your guns to be able to take it out.
What sort of distance are we talking?
Talking, it's not flying low. Talking like maybe maybe 400 to 500 feet up. You ever seen like a police helicopter like circling somewhere? It's doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay.
Like you could hit it with your weapon from this range, but you don't think unless it was a real good shot, you don't think you'd be able to take it out in a single hit.
Okay. I put it away. I look at Dougal. I heard you mention we need some straw man, as you put it.
Yes, we're going to have to get some people to lead the charge. They'll probably understand in the sense that we'll need people to fight and pilot whilst we are more effective boots on the ground. That being said, I feel we should wrap up all ties and we should go get the socialists and Is it Galen or Gayton? Galen?
Galen.
We should get Galen's mech as well. Also
is-
need Gath's mech gone as well.
Right.
All 3 mechs are in this ruined town that you're currently in. Galen's mech, you remember, is parked some ways
Yeah,
in the city.
in the same rune city.
Mm-hmm.
So you intend to stick people in the mechs and die fighting?
Are you getting emotionally attached now?
No, I was going to suggest I procure a couple bodies, but
Well, they need to be conscious and alive to work the mechs. Need the mechs working poorly as fodder to die.
I was under the impression we would destroy the mechs, chuck the bodies inside them.
We can do that, but that would probably reduce morale to not fighting against the corporate army outside the city. Hence why I said subtle sabotage. Maybe let a fail power core when it moves beyond like 2k.
Alright.
You've been to the socialist cap, haven't you?
Briefly.
Can you lead the way? We can go see if anybody's alive.
Sure. Am I pretty sure I can get back there, Paul, from where we are, yeah?
Yeah, I believe you're in the socialist encampment at the north of the city, not the one Galen was taken to. But I think you're all pretty sure that it's the north road out of town.
Yeah.
But you've seen the parade coming down it, like you're pretty sure it's that way.
Yeah. Alright. How far is it? Is it like a
I
hour
think
walk kind of
I
thing, or
think
like
walking. They marched to the ruined city from there. You think walking 30 to 45 minutes? Pretty good pace.
Really?
Okay.
That close? Wow, shit. I was thinking it was like take a police car and just book it.
It's not. It's not that far out because if you remember, they paraded here from
Oh,
the
yeah.
encampment in Galen's
Mm.
shitty ass slow mech.
Mm.
Combine harvester.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Yep. I can lead you there.
Oh. And say to Gav to instruct pilots on the mechs. Sorry, not Gav, Galen.
Mhm.
To go recruit 3 pilots for the mechs. Instruct Gav as to like how to teach fire drills or weak spots to aim.
Gav says
Corporal,
he'll try to
drill
round up the
marshal.
police the best he can, as he sort of knows the locals a bit. So
We're gonna go get reinforcements.
they nod and sort of scurry off to their tasks.
Alright.
The surge finished? Is he done yet?
Surge, I believe, was trying to fix his mech.
And I'm also putting explosives right next to the core of every single one of them that I can remote detonate.
You do have a lot of C4, so yes, you can totally do that.
Yeah, he has a lot.
How are you fixing up your battle damage in your range mech? What are you using to do this?
I am using scrap, and
Mhm.
I am retrofitting some of the ancillary systems. So I imagine that mechs like this, they have a lot of redundancy. I am taking out some of those redundant systems, and I'm putting it into the arm. It's like, I don't need this fucking airbag. Click.
I can like message you and say that there's loads of battered vehicles that might not be
Even better.
functional.
Even
Yeah,
better.
you can-
I'll take some of that shit too.
Can you make me a tech roll, some sort of repair roll, to weld this arm back on with scrap? Basically, you can definitely reattach the arm. It won't be as effective as the currently working arm, but it will look like it's working, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Oh, that's just perfect.
Hack or fix.
Perfect,
So
yes.
that is plus grit, yeah?
Plus grit as well, yes, please. This is just how successful you are. You will succeed anyway, but it's just how good it is.
20.
Ooh, yes, it is.
Yeah, baby. That's what it's all about.
It is as scrappy and as piecemeal welded together
As I am.
as you are. And while it looks like it works, it bends, it has the full range of motion, but it is severely weakened compared to the other one. As not all the core systems have been replaced. But
Wonderful.
it is, to an outsider's perspective, working perfectly.
Excellent.
Excellent.
That's what someone who's never driven a mech before.
Yes.
And I would like to attach those explosives as well, please.
Yes, no problem. I'll let you use the same roll for that because it was a good roll.
Excellent.
Yeah, you stick some of your C4 in right behind, like right under the reactor, so when it explodes, it'll take out the cooling systems, and the reactor will overheat and explode.
Yes, I'm attempting to do that for all 3 of the mechs, if at all possible.
Yeah, that'll take you some time. You'll have to go get Galen's
Totally
mech
fine.
and bring it back.
Totally happy
yeah,
with that.
that's no problem.
And I would like to hook them up to 3 different buttons that I can just have on my arm.
Yeah, you hook it up to one of your three of your Nokias you have wrapped
Mhm.
around. Can you make me some sort of deception check?
Deception.
Because people are like, some civilians and some of the police are milling about, sort of watching you repair the mechs, quite entranced because you've done a lot for them. They're quite thankful, and they're like, "Oh, look at this guy. We got launcher pads. Look at him. What's watching repair the mech. Interested. They've never seen this."
It's just
So-
fire suppressant, it's fissure sealant.
Yeah, they probably don't know that you're planting bombs on them, but
One
I'd
would
like a
hope.
roll to make sure none of them realize.
So this
I'm
is
like,
going
hold
to
on,
be.
isn't that says reactor on it, and he's putting C4 in there.
That's to make it go faster.
Just some sort of deception or social skill.
This is
I
just thermal
don't-
paste. Thermal paste, okay?
I don't
You know,
have any
Uh,
for the reactor.
social skills. Reese, can you move your fucking bottle, please?
Perfect
Oh,
placement.
sorry.
Just to go, I am
Even noticed.
Highland Spring.
Or,
Fuck!
If you don't have anything for it, just give it plus grit. It's
Oh, plus
I'm not
grit. Yeah, let me just re-roll that then. Sure, no problem, buddy. 10.
yeah, that's enough. That's enough. None of these aren't Lancer pilots. Not at the start. None of them are looking too closely. You don't think anybody's realised what you've done. You're good.
Terrible. Terrible
This,
fucking roll.
This would probably take you a couple of hours between getting the mechs, bringing it back, getting a load of guys to help you lift, like, maneuver the arm off the shoulder of the mech and like prop it against this floor of the building and push it on, so it's like sitting, so you can weld it back into place and like clamber up. Probably take you a couple of hours, but you can definitely do it.
I'd imagine there's some finagling about unstable, half blown out floors and
Yeah.
using that as like the workshop to try and
There's
solder
like
the arm
3
back
guys
on.
holding it in place to like rotate it on so the shoulder lines up and stuff, and yeah, it's a whole thing.
You may accidentally weld some of the iron rods of the building onto the mech.
I'm like, fucking brilliant.
Yeah, but yeah, the problem, you line up all 3 mechs, the 2 smaller ones sitting outside the building. Didn't take much damage. They don't need any repair, but you have successfully bombed them. Your mech, you repair up to a serviceable state that anybody looking at it would think, yeah, it probably works quite well. No problem. During this time, Dougal and Nigel, you're heading out to a socialist camp.
Yes. I
Do you
imagine
take
we
a
just like
car or do you
on a
walk?
car or a bike or something, probably for
Yeah,
speed.
you came here in a
purposes.
convoy. There's plenty of cars about. You can just ask for one. Like, hey, can we take this? We need to go scout something or whatever. And they don't
That's
resist. They're like,
anybody
oh
would
yeah,
say no.
go ahead. They're not using it. You just pulled them out of a fire, literally. So.
Huh.
Yeah, no problem. You just take one of the ground cars, just a normal like, civilian sedan, and peel off towards the socialist camp. You get there in about 10 minutes. It's still, it's not a. The road out there is still intact to some extent, at least. So it's not like you're driving over the sand dunes.
Yeah.
And you pull up outside this socialist encampment. As you see now for the first time, a wooden palisade surrounds it. There's no gates, but inside you see what sort of looks like a little shanty town. A number of log buildings, like some have wooden roofs, some have like wooden slate roofs. You see a couple of plants. It seems like it was built around a little oasis. There's a couple of fires you see burning, some lights, a couple of socialists milling about.
So it looks pretty much as I left, but just like slightly more built up and stuff.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it looks like a town in Fallout.
Yeah.
Only less like steel and iron.
Alright. Just like
You sort of see you approach and like look a bit sidelong, but nobody approaches you yet.
just approach and like, obviously not trying to be hidden.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intentionally trying to show my face, and I'm hoping that someone, like the odd person, is like, "Oh, hey, that's that guy. He helped me set up my tent or some shit."
Yeah, you see a couple of them do recognize you from the previous comment, those who survived the explosion and fled here are like, oh, we remember you. You're with us.
Yeah.
And then they see
It's
Dougal
me.
beside you with his
I'm
like
that
fucking
guy.
Juanita badged uniform, and they're like, hold on a minute, why is he here with a corporate?
You said there's no gates, so like,
There's no gates. I imagine you just like sort of drive into the village and
oh, so it's not like a it's not like there's a wall.
no, it's like a
It's
Right,
a
right.
western town.
Okay.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
There's like a bit of a fence, but it's more to keep the sand out than it is anything else by the looks of it.
Whenever I was here, was there
Mhm.
like any people who seemed to be sort of taking like leadershipy kind of roles? You know, people who were kind of standing in the
Ooh.
center and telling people where to put things. Like, oh yeah, dig the latrines
Yes.
over there, set up that shit
Mm,
over there. Let's prepare our
mm,
food over here, and that kind of shit.
yes. You don't see any out of them immediately. Perhaps they didn't survive the explosion, or perhaps they're just not out milling about at this time at night.
If I would have caught their names, I will specifically like ask, is so and so here? Is so and so
Yeah.
about?
So you
I
met
need to
some.
speak with so and so. Blah blah blah.
You know, one of the more charismatic people you met as on your travels north through the city was called Garth. And he sort of banded together a small group with him as you're all traveling and sort of led them into the festivities. Um,
Okay.
so I imagine you ask about for him.
Yep.
Uh,
I seek him
give
out then.
give me like a social sort of grit roll just
Okay.
to see if he survived or not. How about that?
Alrighty. Ah. Oh.
Ooh, he did. He did. He
I love the idea that my role decided whether or not he's alive.
well, he might not have
Uh,
survived the explosion.
yeah, it's just
You know,
funny.
there was an earth-shattered explosion as this entire north side encampment blew up. The festival just fucking exploded, if you remember, with the train and the building surrounding it then collapsed onto it. He comes out a little worse the while. You see he's slightly injured, a large bandage sort of wrapped around one shoulder. His arm is in a sling. But he goes, I recognize you. You were with us in the north side encampment before that horrific explosion and the culprits attacked.
Yeah,
Good to see you, brother. And he like
me
extends an
too.
arm for you
And
to
like,
shake.
I fucking put on a
Who's your?
fucking
Mm, mm,
facade,
mm.
you know.
You
I go
Jeffrey
back
Dahmer in
into the yeah, basically.
You sort of
Um,
like
I
you
go
feel
into the,
like
like the helpful, friendly Nigel that was here
mm,
previously.
yeah. He sort of like grabs your wrist and goes, oh, "It's good to see you survived. Who's your friend here? I see he's not with them, is he?
No,
Wonderful,
I've been branded a
wonderful.
traitor myself.
Ah,
This is Dougal.
I found a
Dougal?
brother.
Gareth.
Excellent, excellent. I'm glad you brought him. We don't have much to offer, sadly, after recent events. But come in. I'm sure we can make you some tea or something." And he leads you into a small living room, very sparsely decorated, wooden table, a couple of homemade wooden chairs, and he starts boiling a kettle on a hot plate. Goes,
Anyone else in the room?
nobody else so far. There's a couple of people outside. Um, there's just him in here. It seems like this is his abode, or has become his abode. Goes, what brings you here, friends? Are you just seeking shelter? I'm sure we can set you up somewhere. There's a couple of empty lots nowadays, to be honest, after the recent events. I'm sure if you don't mind, I'm sure they'll be happy to let you take them.
I'm going to cut to the chase and be frank with you. The corporate military has expanded out into the city. They have roused the local police force, who have now escaped the city and are about 2 kilometers southeast of here, regrouping, ready to try and make a push. We've came here seeking your assistance. We know that you've been attacked by the same corporate city, and they've been dealt a sufficient blow, let's put it that way. We've come seeking your aid to amass one final push to take them back.
I,
There's a chance to strike back, brother.
I, as tempting as it sounds, I feel we have little left. Our brothers and sisters here under Genevieve were massacred before they made it to the city. Their primary weapon stolen, and then the explosion in the north side killed whatever most of us were left with. Honestly, a lot of us are broken.
Well,
If we
that can
if we
be
were just
very
left
easily.
alone,
That can be very easily changed because one thing, Genevieve is not who you think she is.
what?
Genevieve is a corporate asset who has infiltrated and rallied you all together so that way they could put the heel to you in the one confined area. Did you ever think it was weird that a train rolled through and detonated in the center of your complex on a
That's
line that had been disused for many of years?
that's what the explosion was. Wait, why? How
Tell
do you know all this?
because Genevieve hired me to come and to come and end you and the leaders of the rebellion. And
You were
thus, when I denied, I was branded a traitor and a socialist sympathizer.
I I I'm afraid I'll have to see some proof that I can't believe it. Genevieve? No, never.
I
She was always one of us.
would like to pull up
Mm-hmm.
the, what do you call it?
You probably be
Oh,
like a little data
I've
slate.
been watching so much Alter Carbon. It's quite called the Oni. It's basically like the Oni feed. And
God.
You pull up the corporate registry.
hmm, you can
Mm-hmm.
see there's me,
Mm-hmm.
traitor, some socialist sympathizer,
Mm-hmm.
scrolling through. There's Galen. So there's Nigel as well. Oh, sorry. And then,
What?
oh, no, there we go. Is the foreman and what you got? Ah, Genevieve.
You sort of like grabs your wrist and pulls it around so you can get a better look.
Is it ever convenient or occur to you that she always leaves before an attack happens?
He's like sits down. I, what? Why? Why? I don't. Why? I don't
Because
know.
they're afraid of you and what you stand for.
Can you make me some sort of socialite role for that?
Yeah, sure. But,
Nigel can assist if he wants to.
I mean,
Uh,
it's the
Oh
wrong
yeah.
type of role for me because I'm only good at threatening people.
Oh God.
Nigel, can you assist in some way?
Fuck's sake. Ah.
I don't know if my assistants will do much.
He said you see him slump in the chair and he goes, I never betrayed from the start. It was all for nothing. All those people, all those lives lost for nothing. I can't help you. We can't lose any. We're already broken. What more do you want from us? Are you come to lead us to death as well?
Would you rather die in the sand or would you rather fight alongside the people of the city, the free people of the city, and the three Lancer pilots that already crippled their armor?
They'll never listen to us. They never have. Why would we fight for them now? We have nothing more. We can't fight. There's what 20, 30 of us able-bodied. That's even if they're willing to pick up weapons. Just no. We can't. We've nothing.
Your presence alone will show them that you stand with them, and they will thank you for that.
Perhaps. It's,
Put it this way, today they take over the city. Tomorrow they take over this encampment. How far can you run? Where's the nearest oasis after the one from the manufactorum?
it doesn't matter. They've already won. They'd won from the start. She's already with them from the start.
So you're dead anyway?
It would seem that way, and I'd rather go peacefully.
They won't let you.
He seems so swallow hard. He goes,
You cut off the head of the snake, the body will go limp.
so what? Kick the corporates off planet? They'll just go away?
No, the corporates. As far as I'm led to believe, from my time in there, the current executive is not on the planet. The deputy executive is being mutinied. by said Genevieve and a foreman called George. So
And
that is the head. There's a two-headed snake that needs to be removed.
this Jordan, he'll just forgive us for causing chaos, for outing it.
I think he would
So we'll-
understand that the losses of his armament is purely acceptable because of the drastic measures taken. I don't believe that this expansion was sanctioned. Otherwise, it wouldn't be conducted in such a fleeting matter. When have you ever known corporates to come out slowly in dribbles?
It's true. It's usually the whole jackpot you get. I,
And I'm not alone in myself. There's many people within the manufactorum that would like to just work and live peacefully inside the manufactorum.
I don't know. I don't know how many. I have to think. I have to think on this. I I have to talk to the others. They, if they want to join me, then I would stop them. But I don't know if I will.
Very well. Just promise me one thing though.
I will tell you what it is first.
Genevieve comes to rally you again. You lay her in the dirt.
She, you see, sort of his fists clench into balls as you say this, and his jaw tightens. He's that that wench. She better never show her face here again. If that's all, I
Oh,
I'll leave you to go to.
there was a Lancer that you had. It's been recovered by the police. They have it. If you have a pilot still able to pilot it. If not, no worries. We have a few with the police.
Oh, the boys left barely know which way a gun fires.
Many guns can be an intimidating sight, especially to someone that's not getting paid well enough.
I'll, I'll,
That's I know
I'll,
too well.
I'll ask. Somebody might volunteer. I make no promises. Let me think of this. Let me talk to the others. If we're there, we're there. But if we're not coming. If that's all.
If you're not there, run. Because it won't be
Fine.
long.
At
But
least
you
you're
can
out on
end
that
this.
one. Can we?
You have a choice.
We'll see. I'm not so sure. And he sort of walks past you, out the door, leaving you to the 2 cups of tea sitting on the table.
I
Should have
pick up
brought
all the cups of tea and just.
a mech up here. It might have roused them a little bit better.
Perhaps, but that would have taken quite a bit of time.
You're able to have a quiet word? I don't mean the usual kind, I mean an inspiring kind.
I can try. I don't know these people as well as you might think I do, but
But all we need them to do is stand in the field.
I'll try. And Paul,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
when I was here previously,
Mm-hmm.
was there anybody who was, particularly what do you call it? Any particular like what do you call what's the word for it? Like
Anybody like a
No, the black guy.
yeah? Anybody particularly militant or
yeah, like kind of like warmongering kind of
hmm?
like
Yeah,
we
there,
should fucking take it to the corpos,
there
fucking
We left
definitely
guys.
Serge back at the mechs.
yeah there were definitely quite a few of them. How have I forgot this guy's name already? The guy you just spoke to was definitely one of them. However, he
Okay.
seemed sort of beaten, and
Yeah.
from the way he talked, it seems like they lost a lot of people during the explosion and the ongoing massacres. The corporate police
Mm.
sort of, took the weapons out of the train and then killed whoever was left. You imagine
And
a lot
imagine
of
it was like
a lot
Schindler's
of
List
them,
in the ghetto.
yeah, a lot of the more militant probably tried to fight them at that point and probably died.
Understandable.
Um, it's probably just him. It seems like.
Okay. Mm.
Do you follow him?
Yeah.
You step outside into the cool night air as the sunset in the desert. You see him standing a ways off where the road ends in like a large roundabout almost, a tree in the middle.
Mm.
He's just sort of fists clenched, sort of staring up at the moons.
I go up and just like step up beside him. Don't say anything at first. Just sort of stand there.
He sort of turns a bit and sees you and goes, "Bitch, she betrayed us all. This is all her fault. If I could
It is.
crush the life out of her with my own hands." And he sort of like, his fists like go slack.
Come help us and you might get that chance.
Can you promise me that?
I promise you. If we find her, she's all yours. And I like
It's
pull out my giant fucking gun.
uh-huh.
Like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
this right here. I'm going to use this to shoot her the fuck down. Because I promise you, her and that other cunt are going to be watching in some chopper somewhere. Once they show themselves, I will drop them. Should she stumble out of that wreckage, her life is yours to choke out.
You're probably right. Sadistic bitch.
This is going to be your only shot. This is all of our only shot. We have 3 mechs over there with pilots ready to go.
All right.
This is a now or never kind of situation.
All right. If we're to be the bait then, to draw her out, so be it. As long as she dies, I'll die happy.
I promise you she will die.
I'll hold you to that. I'll go get the lads. It'll take a bit to get them together, wake them up, but we'll make our way to this encampment of yours then. That'll do.
Like, reach out a hand.
He grabs it by the wrist, like sort of like gives it a firm shake.
See you on the other side, brother.
It was good to have you with us, brother. Fucking bitch. He sort of like spits and walks off towards the rest of the houses.
Cool. Imagine like whatever facial expression that like Nigel had on right there, just like
Mm-hmm.
the second this guy's back turns, it just fades back to completely neutral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like the like you sort of like wipe the hand off, like the dirty paw print. He doesn't realize, and
Hope not.
seems like he will join.
Yep. Head back to Dougal, who I presume just waiting by the car or
It's up,
something.
up to Dougal.
Yeah.
Dougal. Yeah, you've probably seen all of
I'm
this
literally standing
exchange.
next
Then,
to the car like this.
yeah, you probably witnessed this entire exchange.
Yeah. I walk back over, just head towards, I assume I drove because I fucking knew where this place was. I just head back
Mm.
towards the driver's door, just as I'm walking towards it, just they're in.
Good. Plans
Anything
are
else
in
you
motion.
want to do here, or shall we head back?
I believe the others have been alone without supervision for far too long as it is already. We need to tie in, see the lay of the situation, and then phone Horatio.
Serge, it's probably at this point that you're welding the spiked pauldron onto the police mech.
Fucking based. Yes.
Um,
Out there in the Fury Road.
some of the lads have managed to find some yellow paint as well. So.
Yes. This shit's getting painted up. I paint a stop resisting on its back in
Oh god.
big yellow letters.
Perfect. Yeah, I imagine you guys drive back in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a small amount of time. So at this point, you're finishing up the last touches, Surge, and Gav and Keelan have managed to pick out 3 likely recruits to pilot the mechs. They seem overeager, shall we say, to
Excellent.
get stuck in. And I see they've sort of lined them up facing the mechs and pointing out, oh, this one's going to be yours, this one's going to be yours, this one's going to be yours.
Okay.
As you're driving back into town, Nigel and Dougal, can you both throw me spot check?
Sure thing, boss. 20.
Okay,
Nice.
that's fine. Nigel rolled well enough, so you'll both see this. Some Nigel points it out to you. Nigel, you don't spot the helicopter. You're pretty sure it's not followed you, and you don't see it hovering above the police encampment anymore in the ruin city. It appears to
Okay.
have withdrawn. Just
Paul, can I use another talent?
yes, go ahead. What would you like to do?
I would like to read a situation.
Ooh, okay.
Look for subtext, motives, threats in a situation.
Okay, go. I'll give you a plus d6 in this because of who you are. I feel like you'd know a bit about spying and the logistics of intelligence gathering. Yeah. What do you want to know? Ask me any 3 questions and I will answer them completely honestly.
Has the water left the beach and is the wave about to strike?
Yes.
Fuck.
It is. You know from experience that the helicopter's probably been recalled as it's going to be of use in an upcoming operation. And they feel like they've gathered enough intelligence that they no longer need to videotape you guys anymore.
Ooh.
2 more questions.
2 more questions.
Mm-hmm.
Da 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 da.
I can give you a little minute if you want to think about it. And get back to search.
So like, the helicopter is gone completely.
It appears to have left. Yes. I'll not count that.
Yeah. Oh no. Sorry. I don't know. What else would you ask?
I can just give you some
Because I
information if
suppose I
that's
would
what you
look
want.
for.
I can give you some information if that's what you want instead of what your character might know.
Like I'm looking out the window on the car on the way back, surveying the land, and I'm looking at where like markers would be if there was one for like artillery, shell distance parts, to see if anybody's already like scanned the area, or if you could see if actually my real question is, do I see a forward encampment or outpost at the edge of the city? Like helicopters buzzing around like a station.
You don't see any encampment or outpost, but you do see that where the corporate police line is now is at the edge of the city. They seem to have completely pushed the local police out. You see a couple of lights coming over the dunes and up the main road towards the ruined city of probably police vehicles that are fleeing whatever was left. They seem to have completely pushed the local police out and established a perimeter at the edge of the city now. You see a couple of helicopters flying its length, like keeping a watch in the desert in case anything comes out. The odd strafing run and some stragglers. You don't see any forward encampments outside of that.
Suppose that answers my next question, which was, is there any dust clouds from any of the other directions?
Yes, there are several. From what you can tell from the lights in the distance, they appear to be police vehicles moving to the rendezvous point to regroup.
From the city.
From the city, yes. You don't see any from outside further into the desert.
And as a cheating action, I am going to phone Serge.
No problem. Go ahead. Surge.
No,
Your
you fucking
six
use
knock-
this. You use this fucking. Hello.
6 Nokia's.
I
Hopefully it's not the C4 Nokia.
Yeah.
I pull out like the fucking. I pull out the fucking.
You've got a new phone now that's super duper. Your Nokia is the ice.
Oh yeah,
brick.
the Nokia's the ice brick.
the
No,
black
that's
ice.
right.
True. I
I
forgot.
just go-
Yes. Yes.
I flick it up really nice and just go
Uh-huh.
fucking play it. No, push that lever that taught it. Hello.
Oh, good. Communications are still up.
Da. What's up?
Yeah, we're about 6 minutes out. It's a situation at your end.
We're under attack.
No, we are 6 minutes out. Nigel and I.
Oh, okay.
What is the situation at your end?
I'm trying to
Does
teach.
someone have at least?
Trying to teach these fucks how to drive a mech. It's not
Fair
good.
enough. Does Gav established a picket line?
I look at Gav.
Gav just sort of shrugs and goes, "They're. What do you want from them? They're the fucking local police."
I want a fucking firing line for anything that comes over that horizon.
He looks at them. And there's 3 of them standing around a fucking fire barrel.
Time to get everybody mobilizing. Storm's about to hit.
I rub my eyes. I say, okay, we'll see what we can do. Okay,
And Serge,
da.
do not get into the mech. Get everybody in the briefing room. AKA the most covered dining room that we were all in beforehand.
Da. Click. Goes, okay, I need you to all get fucking armed up, and I need the fucking commanders in this briefing room. 6 minutes. How many people am I looking at right now?
Between 50 and 60, I would say.
Okay. I'd look
All
at.
wearing like slightly different uniforms of different districts.
Do we have any heavy munitions? Fucking Stinger.
point. So somebody points at the mechs.
Not those fucking Stinger missiles. Fucking shit that you would use to knock out a chase car. Anything.
Where did we get those? We're fucking police officers.
Okay. Get ready to move out. Commanders in this building.
Where are we moving out to?
We may be deploying. No further questions.
Who's the commanders?
I look at.
Corporal sort of speaks up. I'm one of the commanders, and he sort of marches off.
Yeah, that'll do. Okay. And I go and I get ready as well. I'm going to also attempt to. So the vehicles, the ruined vehicles that are around, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
What are they powered by?
They appear to be powered by some sort of hydrogen combustion engine.
Hydrogen combustion, you say?
Trebuchet.
And the while it takes for the guys to get here, can I have a little look at those to see if
Are you
there's
looking
any?
at- Are you looking at the vehicles that the convoy came in and the ones currently arriving, or are you looking at the ruined ones?
The
sitting
ruined
around
ones.
destroyed? The ruined ones are completely in disrepair, rusted out wrecks. Any engine that is in them is just like a rusted fucking lump of metal at this point.
So
pretty
there'd be
much.
no possibility that there's any either hydrogen fuel or an ion battery or anything in them.
No, probably not.
Brilliant.
You might find a couple, but they're like completely dry. Like you could throw them at people, but you don't think you could even breathe life into them. They've been sitting out here for a long time.
Okay. We're going to need the vehicles though, so that's a bad sign. Okay. That's
There's going to be some that are shot to shit.
the
Right, you
vehicles?
get salvage.
No. Do the vehicles that we came in look okay?
A few of them are quite busted up, yes, but they're still running.
Okay. I'm going to need to keep those. I'll wait till the guys arrive, and then we'll talk further plans.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
About 10 minutes later, you guys pull up in the sedan. the crowd that was watching the mechs get repaired, some of them are still there, so they're watching the pilots get accustomed to the new mechs. You see them move jankily. It's somebody's trying to pilot a fighter jet who used to drive a car. They're
Yeah.
not doing very well, but
Yeah.
they seem to be grasping the basics of walking and moving the arms. Um, and then others have sort of like milling about their cars, watching pick screens. Set up small barrel fires to keep themselves warm, maybe cooking a small meal. It doesn't really. This doesn't look like a base. This looks like a fucking refugee camp.
Yep.
You pull up, you exit your sedan, and I assume you walk into your now called briefing room. One of the inner rooms of this large multi-story building that Surge parked his mech in. A long fucking wooden dining table still sits in it. It's been fucking gotten names carved into it. One of its legs is missing and propped up like a load of bricks. There's a couple of corporals standing in there, one a police sergeant from the Southern District, and then Surge as well. Gav and Galen are sort of milling about, talking to the police officers outside.
Everybody here. Get the
Sorry.
briefing underway.
Everybody who is anybody is here, the sergeant says. What are we doing?
Right.
I don't see any way we could take the city back, unless you have some crazy scheme.
We don't have to take the city back in drastic motion. We're not going to have to fight block by block. They're coming to us. As is the arrogance of the corporal, they would want to come out and quell this away from the city. That way, minimize damage on any infrastructure that they want to take over.
You know, that makes sense.
The aim of the game is shock and awe. Next, prioritize armor and air support. Highlight air support. That's going to be the hardest thing. That's going to demoralize everybody the quickest. Once these are done, you constantly keep pushing forward. We're going to have cars out there with strafers. These are just going to disrupt any anti-tank people or anybody. They're going to draw focus away from the main bulk of the force. There's going to be bodies on our flanks. And then there's going to be at least 3 squads of at least 4 people around the mechs. These are to keep off any stragglers, anybody who would like to run up with any Semtex grenades and strap them to them, cripple them. That being said, the socialists are coming. They're going to come and aid us in the fight.
The socialists in?
Yes. The corporates hit them first before they hit the police stations. They're a bit disrobbled, but they're willing to come and stand with you. And at the moment, any help is needed.
Well, I'm not going to pretend I like it, but if they're going to stock up a few bullets for us, then.
So, like I said,
it is,
the aim of the game is shock and awe. We take out the big assets and armor, they'll become demoralized quickly, because then it's just a grunt fight, foot on foot.
Perhaps.
Us five.
Way.
Us 5 are going to move through the field. We're going to assist in taking down the air support, and we're also going to prioritize taking out commanders, because that's what we do best.
Duh.
Okay. All right. I can get the guys to do that. Yes. That doesn't seem like we have much of a choice.
Plan is to cause as much chaos as possible. You've ran the script, you've done the kettling, you've won the riot gear. Now's the time to be on the other side.
They sort of like nod between each other, like, okay. Seems like we can do this. All right.
Don't need to be accurate, as long as you keep them pinned down, cause a ruckus, create some explosions. We're outside the city.
Why? That we can do. One of the corporals pipes up. He goes, "Aye, we can do that. Aye, no bother. Aye, lads." This is like, "Oh, aye, we can do that." Aye.
This is a big angry mob that wants to kill you. It's nothing that you haven't faced before.
Aye, right, that true. Right, then. At what time do we be expecting our guests?
I would have everybody armed and ready to move out as soon as possible.
Double time it is then. Righty-o. We had them, lads. Right, do we get to come on? And they all start piling out and shouting orders at random civilians and whoever
You
used
four.
to be their god man.
As in like the Juanita guys, gents.
Mhm.
Need to call her Horatio.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, you see him answer the Dougal, Dougal, Dougal. Oh yes, it's time for your report. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Right, let's hear it then. How's things getting along on the ground?
We have encountered a considerable force of rallied police. Seem to be ready to make an offensive to retake the city. 3 Lancer pilots, 3 Lancers are with them here.
3 lancers. Okay.
Yes,
A
3.
few more than expected, but I assume you could deal with them.
One looks like a confiscated gangers pimp my ride thing. It's a cue ball. One is actual police standard issue, although it's in severe damage. And
That would
the
make sense.
pilot
The
for
big
that one,
screens.
the pilot for that one suffered severe head trauma, so I don't think he's going to make it. He's in the infirmary, and Nigel saw to him, so I wouldn't worry about that. That
If
being said, they
Nigel's
do have a replacement. They are willing to try and use the mix, so we have went about that, and Serge has very delicately sabotaged them.
And very sneaky.
good. It seems your things well under control there. Okay.
As you can understand, we couldn't massacre the entire force here,
No,
or
of course.
so we've went about it in more subtle, delicate matters. That
Of
being
course.
said, I would warn the city in the sense that there is an amass because socialists have now rallied to the cause of the police.
Hmm.
Again,
So,
as the undelicate hands of 2 of your compatriots have stirred up this situation, there's a lot of angry hornets wanting to strike back.
that's all the better for us then. That's we can push that, gain some ground on them, push them right
Mm.
down the ladder. Good. Things seem to be progressing well for our side. Okay. Do you need anything from me, or are you happy to take care of this yourselves?
Well, we're happy to take care of ourselves, I assume. Gents, do you have any requisitions?
I mouth the word mech.
Um,
I am just quietly biting my tongue, staring at Serge. Just
He sort of like waits patiently, like.
No, I'm okay. It's good.
situation should be cleared up, sir, by the time that you're scheduled to arrive.
No.
Oh no, I won't be arriving. No, but the ship will be in orbit. Don't worry about that. Appears to be all
That being
transiting
said,
on
sir,
time.
could you, now that our mission is completed in the sense of sabotage, can you re-invoke your status as Juanita employee?
That should be no problem. Yes, I'll push that through right after this call. Yes, that should be no problem. Can you send me any data you've recorded so I can push it to the council here? Make sure to push these
Yes.
fucking bugs out. And that bastard Jordan as well. Push him down a couple of rungs, letting this all happen.
I accidentally send them the files of like Genevieve at the rallies as well.
You seem sort of like.
And the meeting of Foreman asking us to quell the socialists, and then us shooting the socialists, and then them flying over calling us traitors. And then like the recorded call, screen call of him going, "Whoa, you're traitors now."
Sort of nods and goes.
And then there's a random clip
Well,
of
for my
Drebin fighting with
daft
a stripper
plan.
as well.
You see him go, fucking police squad. Can't show that. Well, maybe I can show that to the council. Anyway, very good, Dougal. Yes, I'll get your statuses reinvoked. Overwrite Jordan and almost anything he needs to do. Bastard. Very good. Okay. Well, take care of things on the ground. I'll push this through. Your efforts have been noted, and I'll say that you're reimbursed for it if this all goes swimmingly, as I expect it will. Let me know when you're ready to transit, and I'll contact the teleport station to connect you to the ship. Also, contact me after this insurgency is dealt with. That way, I can ensure no misunderstandings happen on the local planet side, shall we say.
Understood.
Excellent. Thank you for your report, Dougal. I'll be about it. Best of luck. Then he cuts off again.
So, gents, we don't actually have to do a single fucking thing, unless some of you are hell-bent on revenge and killing George and Genevieve.
Oh, I want to blow things up. Come on. Come
The more
on.
things you watch on camera, the harder it is going to be for Horatio to keep you on the payroll.
I also don't want to provide too much support to the socialists and the police.
Yes,
Okay.
which is why we are a strike team. I leave the option open. Should the opportunity present itself, but I suggest we pick a nice section to go and watch from afar, and we try and make our way subtly back to the corporation city.
Okay, I suppose.
We should be on the outskirts of this engagement.
Ugh,
I agree.
okay.
Serge, you have one job, remember? Key moment. Destroy the mechs.
Okay.
Galen, no fucking axes to the chests of any of the militant police.
He seems to clutch his axe towards his chest. I can't promise anything. That was Sean's voice. But...
It sounded just like him. I thought he was here.
Is Sean in the room with us right
yeah.
now?
Yes, very good, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to do, or would you like to try to return to the corporate city and ingratiate yourself with the locals, shall we say?
I think we'd like to attempt to do that, wouldn't we?
Oh, I'm leaving it here at the crux point in the sense of like, do we shoot the people that wronged us, or do we just see how the battle goes out and fate takes its turn, or no, all the police are destroyed, but who cares? And then we just leave anyway and let Jordan deal with his own corporate shit.
That's not
That's
a bad idea either.
completely up to you guys.
Yep. I have laid it out. I have literally arranged the pieces on the board, and then it's like,
What would you like
gents,
to do?
do as you will. I am heading round the outskirts of the battle to head towards the corporate city to the transport, as in like the teleport pad. No, my status has been re-invoked. I can just walk through the corporate city.
Yep, indeed. The other two, what do you wanted to do at this time?
Nigel considers this job done.
Yeah, it was done in day one.
So,
I mean, always has been.
I would like to work out a way to influence a teleportation device in case we get backstabbed and the corporation decides to turn it into a disintegration ray instead.
okay. Let's get to the teleportation pad first, and then you can attempt to do that. How about that?
Okay. No, I mean, I was in something of like, oh yeah, I just flip my phone and press a button and it hacks into the fucking teleporter
Well, it's
while we're
all,
being disintegrated.
I feel like that's some
Just
real
put a
advanced
metagame here.
technology.
Is Paul that fucky a DM that he will actually kill off the entire cast?
I refuse to answer that question, but that is something that Sergey would do because he doesn't trust the corpos.
Fair enough.
well,
It's like Jesus.
let's step through this.
Yeah.
The scene pans out. We see the two slides sort of squaring off on their own encampments, amassing their forces.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys get from the outskirts of this destroyed city back into the corporate city? Do you take one of the ground cars? Do you walk?
I imagine we
Nope.
walk
Play this
I'm
out for me.
for
heading on. I am
quietness.
heading on foot, and I'm heading west, and I'm heading to the North
Sneaking.
Road, and
So
not the North Road to the new encampment or the encampment that Galen was at. I am going to the North Road that leads down past the disused rail line. Actually,
Yeah, so
fuck it. I'm heading to the rail line.
Yeah, so you're sort of heading southwest-ish, sort of.
I am going to the rail tracks and walking down the rail tracks to the station that we came out of. That we ran, like, basically from where the fight was, we ran along the lines, came up at the next station. I am heading to the rail line to head down the rail line, come out at that station within the city, so I can assess the situation there.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, we sort of have a smash cut of you guys walking through the desert as the sun slowly begins to rise in the distance. And then, entering this abandoned subway just in the outskirts of the city, dodging the corporate police. a shot of you guys walking down the tracks, then emerging out of the subway into the center of the city. A number of buildings have previously been in flames, have been put out. There's battle damage in and around. The old overturned car and so on. There's not many people about.
Has the
You
battle
do
started?
battle does not seem to have started yet, but there's battle damage from the night before in the city.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. The buildings have like been damaged. There's overturned cars, burnt out husks of old cars. There's no bodies in the streets anymore. But there's definitely still the odd blood stain about the place. And the police station itself, where you fought last night, is just an absolute fucking wreck. Where the mechs have ran through it, the grounds have been trampled, tanks exploded. There's not too many people about. Most people seem to be keeping to themselves. The corporate police you do see don't seem to be paying attention to really anything more than heading north to what seems to be their rendezvous point at this point.
I say we get a vantage point so you can trigger the explosion surge.
This should be able to operate for many, many miles, so we should be all good.
Yeah, but do you want it to happen before the battle starts?
No. You want to happen? You want to make it look real, no? You want to make it like some fucking guy shot at it and then it exploded.
Maybe.
Duh.
At least to let them mobilize out in the field so that way they can have the chance to surrender. The way that this works is that the corporation will be under the spotlight now with the cameras. If everybody is demoralized that the mech's destroyed, they might lay down their arms. And if they're massacred out in the field, doesn't look good for the corporation.
Okay. Why don't you just you give me the hint and I'll press the buttons.
Trust you being the demo expert to know when to press the buttons.
Okay.
Very good. Yeah, there's several vantage points you think you could take to overlook the scene of this battle. There's a number of high rises in the outer city itself that overlook the desert. You think you could get onto one of the roofs? Easy enough. Race, you're feeling. How much longer do you think you have? Should we end it here and pick up this at the start of the next session, or are you wanting to continue this to the end?
I think this might be a good point to end it, to be honest.
On the eve of the battle.
On the eve of the battle, and then we get everyone together for the battle.
Well,
that way, if Sean wants to go Mad Axe rampaging, he can.
The battle is next Thursday. Sean will probably not be here, so.
Is there a day that Sean is here?
We can work out a new day if that works. Yeah.
How is Wednesday for you? We don't do anything.
I'm off all next week, so I'm good. But it depends on. You know, I'll see if I can organize a day we can all make it next week.
Delightful.
Because I'm off. So.
Cool. I should be about every day as well.
Was a weekend? I don't think a weekend works. I know, Reese, you're working late next week.
I am.
Haggy, you can't do weekends.
No, or even a Sunday will be a push because it'd be very late.
Is there anything you particularly want to do this upcoming session of the battle race, or are you happy for it to
I'm happy
play
for you guys
out
to go on
and then for
me.
those guys to sort of pick up a new mission and then you to join that one?
Don't get me wrong, see if Genevieve and George fly by us in a helicopter at the back end of the battle.
Oh yeah, that'd be definitely a shot. But that is the only thing.
Okay.
Nigel's perfectly happy to just watch. Yeah.
Collateral damage.
So you might be able to pick up at the end of the session then.
I mean, yeah.
All right. No worries. I'll see what days everybody can do, and then at least you can join just whenever you can. How about that?
Yeah, sounds good.
So you back shift next week, Reese?
Yeah.
Jet.
So I don't finish work till 10.
Classic. Okay.
And Sean's day shift.
I do have a car, so I mean I can literally be on my computer at like 10:15.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking